Here's how changing my diet cured my depression. Now, that is a very bold statement, but changing my diet has been one of the most transformative things to every single aspect of my life. Now, you may or may not have heard of how closely related the body and mind are, the gut and the mind. You take care of one, you take care of the other. If one's out of balance, the other's out of balance. For example, if you overthink a lot and you're anxious a lot, you might find yourself with diarrhea more, you might find yourself with stomach pains more. If you eat bad food the other way around, you might find that you overthink more, you might find you're more depressed, you might find that you're more anxious. Your body needs nutrients and vitamins to be able to function optimally. Now, for me, I always struggled with eating well. When I was younger, I would cry when my parents made me eat carrots around the dinner table, when they tried to make me eat vegetables. And I can't tell you exactly where this came from, but that led to me not eating vegetables for years, or fruit, or anything really with nutritional value. So then I went to university and I still wasn't eating vegetables, and I developed this belief around myself that I don't like vegetables and I don't like healthy food. And the things that we believe affect us, they affect who we are, they affect how we see the world, they affect the things that we do. So I went to university, and the turning point for me really was I started working in a kitchen, and I was around food. I was around different vegetables for the first time. And I remember somebody brought me a salad on my lunch one time, and I didn't tell them because I didn't want to upset them or offend them, but I didn't like the salad, or so I told myself at the time. So I told my manager, I'm like, I don't like this salad, do you want it? And he's like, what do you mean you don't like salad? It's like, grow up and eat the salad. So I was like, fair enough, I guess I got it. So I ate it and I was like, wow, it really isn't as bad as I thought. And then after that, it opened up a whole world of trying different vegetables and eating, and I will try most things now. I'm not saying that I really love every food, but I will try most things now. And the reason that I say all this cured my depression is because after I changed my diet consistently and I started eating more vegetables, it just so happened that I started making better decisions. And the reason for my years of depression was the situation that I was in. And the situation that I was in was a result of poor choices I was making. Whether that be gambling all my money, so I felt depressed. Whether that be eating terrible, so I felt depressed because I felt bad about myself. Whether that be smoking, porn, alcohol, drugs, all making me feel depressed. I was in a terrible situation, and those things were dopamine chasers. So my dopamine was coming so high and I was feeling so high, but then when I came back down to reality and I was sober, I felt so low. So the depression was a result of the terrible choices I was making, and I couldn't make healthy choices if my body wasn't healthy. To tell you how drastic it really got is that I remember multiple times I was so addicted to takeout food, like doner meat, cheesy chips, fried, unhealthy food. I was so addicted to that I would be on my phone late on a night. I would gamble the little bit of money that I had in my bank. I would put it away on the roulette, on horse racing. And then I would text one of my parents and I would say, will you bank transfer me £10, please? And I would make out that it was for work or it was for travel, but it was actually so I could order takeout. And that is so wild to me that I used to do that. But that's how addicted I was. And, I felt so bad with every decision I made. And every time I came down from the high, that I would just make another bad decision to again soothe the pain, to again chase the pain away. And changing my diet helped me to make better decisions, and it's no coincidence that I started a business when I changed my diet. I stopped gambling when I changed my diet. It was easier to stop smoking, and don't get me wrong, that was a battle that I went on with for years, and it took me a long time to get rid of. But it made it easier. It made it easier to stop drugs. And then I did a lot of reading and research into the benefits of diet and how closely related the mind and the gut are. And I just see it in myself. It's life proof. Because since I have consistently changed my diet and I eat real sources of protein, tuna, beef, chicken, since I eat more vegetables, I can't remember the last time I felt depressed. Like, even when I have no money, even when I'm really struggling with my relationship, when I'm struggling with my business, when my body's not in the best shape, I never feel depressed, ever. I can't remember the last time I sat and thought I feel depressed. But what I will tell you is, on the odd occasion I do have a really unhealthy meal, then I can feel myself going down that path. And I can feel myself feeling terrible. And it's much easier to slip into that negative mindset and those negative feelings when you do eat so bad. You know, and I'm not saying my diet's clean and perfect 100% of the time. Like, I arrived in Montenegro 3 weeks ago and I've ate a burger every single day, you know? Some people might not consider bread the healthiest food, but with that, I'm eating some vegetables and I'm eating some real meat. You know, it's not deep fried food from a takeout. And there's some kind of balance there. So I'm not saying you have to be perfect, but if you find yourself depressed often or in low moods often, like, look at your diet. I don't think most people don't understand how powerful this is, you know? Because I didn't for years. And if you tell yourself you don't like vegetables and that you don't like fruits and you don't like healthy food, that's your identity right now. So you're going to continue believing that until you make a change, until you just put a salad in your mouth and realize that it's not as horrendous as you think it is, you know? Start to read the ingredients on packages. Like, if you're eating frozen food every day, look at the ingredients on that package and think what makes more sense, putting all that in my body at once, or just eating a vegetable that is one ingredient and comes from the earth. We've all got so reliant on processed foods. We've all got so reliant on Deliveroo and easy access to takeout foods. But changing your diet when you can make a few mindset shifts, you know, and you realize that your identity doesn't have to be, I don't like vegetables. There are still vegetables I don't like. I don't like courgette or aubergine. They're just not my favorite, so I don't eat them. But we're humans, and it's wild to say that we don't like vegetables. You know, we've eaten them for hundreds of years. We've eaten meat for thousands of years. And as long as I keep eating a variety of foods, I'm not saying that I will never eat pizza. I'm not saying that I will never have a takeout meal. Of course, I will have balance. But if that's all you're eating and you don't have some variety, look at your diet and think about where you can make some simple changes. Start with one thing at a time. You don't have to start eating fruit salads or putting 10 different vegetables in your meals. But I think depression and mood is so closely linked to diet, and we often overlook it. And the easier choice is to go to a doctor and be prescribed pills. But the sad thing is, when you go to a doctor, they're not asking you what you eat, you know? They're not suggesting that you make small dietary changes. They're just giving you pills. And they're making money. And it's not fixing the deep issue. So you will always keep feeling bad. You will always come back to that depressed or anxious feeling. Always. Because you haven't fixed the deep-rooted issue. And so much of that is diet. So much of depression is diet. I don't know anybody that eats clean or healthy foods every day that feels depressed every day. I just don't. So that's how diet cured my depression. And I hope that made sense. And I definitely will touch on it more in more videos. Because it's the first time I've really talked about it, and the first time that I've come to the realization of how powerful diet is to depression, to mood, to anxiety. So take from that what you can, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.